Go ahead and cancel me, but I think that boomers and Gen Z have very similar soft skills issues for similar reasons, but how they got there was different. I researched the unwritten rules for the working class and neurodivergence, as well as intersections of race and gender, and I'm frequently asked, how do you see this difference with generations? I often tell people I think we have an inverted U-shape of soft skills right now. A lot of people are talking about how Gen Z struggles with soft skills. There's been a lot of business articles about this for like 2 years. And that makes sense because a lot of them had to finish high school or college virtually because of COVID. They didn't have that sharing a dorm room experience. They've also grown up with technology and algorithms catered completely towards them. You can have a fake profile and say whatever you want with no consequences screaming out into the world. And then you go to a workplace in person and there are consequences for very, very minor things. On this other end, you have boomers who are starting to leave the workforce, but not as quickly as we thought it would. And maybe some older Gen Xers here who likely started their careers before civil rights. They didn't have to work with people who were different from them. And there was this idea after World War II, a lot of the ideas that were pushed about leadership was based on military command and control style of leadership and suck it up and just do it. You weren't allowed to show your feelings, and so they can see soft skills and diversity as a weakness and unnecessary. This isn't everyone in those generations. I don't really like generation wars. But historical factors do matter. In the middle, the people who are in the middle, whether they're in whatever generation, who are doing a lot of the soft skills and emotional labor, they're burned the F out. They're exhausted, and a lot of them liked virtual work because they didn't have to deal with this as much. And this is a big reason why my book that's coming out this fall on the unwritten rules of work, I have recommendations for leaders, staff, and HR. Because one group is not their responsibility. One group has more power if you're in a leadership position. That is true, and we cannot expect everyone to completely adapt to us all the time. The idea that we shouldn't have to adapt to other people or learn more about them is very egotistical. And I'm not talking about going full code switching where you can't be yourself. I think you should be able to be authentic. But we are never going to be around another person who is identical to us, and if we did, what a boring world that would be. But our algorithms know so much about us that it's creepy that we can be surprised to hear people with a different opinion or who are different and have a different experience. The cultures we grow up in shape who we are and what we think is normal, but normal is an illusion, and it takes self-awareness for us to be able to work around other people.